Hi, I'm Rich. This is my 2004 4Runner, and today I'm going to be replacing this top trim on the back window. It's gotten quite old. It's 2022 now, and it's given me good service, but I'm afraid of leaks, and the bottom one is starting to look a little ragged. I've got this on order, but unfortunately it has not come in yet in time for this video. There are other videos out there that show you how to replace it, and basically all you're going to do is just pop this off, mindful of the area behind the rear windshield wiper here, and take this out and put the new one in its place. But it goes on top of this one, so I'm going to replace this one first. And I have not seen, can't find any YouTube videos on how to replace this. It looks fairly simple, similar to what this one is. You pretty much just grab a corner, start in a corner, and lift it out. There's a piece that is below here, about this far down, that needs to come out, and if you pull from the side, you can lift that out pretty easily. It just comes right out, and then you can just peel it all around. Pull over to this side, same thing. You can just lift it out. The replacement, it just is the reverse process of this to putting it back in place. But what I have found is that on the inside there's some kind of soft sealant. It's not a glue, and it doesn't harden. But it's kind of a grayish color. I can see it on some of the areas on the inside here. So I'm currently looking for that product, and I will post an update to this video what that product is, or at least what I used on here. It just looks almost like grease. It's about that consistency. Before you put the new part on, you definitely want to use a moist rag and clean up all the areas around the edges here, including the grease that was on here, because you're going to be replacing that. And I noticed some areas in here that have a little bit of rust on them, so you want to be mindful of that as well. We're going to get the new piece. I'm going to apply the new grease right along the edges here, and it's very light. I mean, it was just a very, very thin layer. It is right on here. It may even be on the inside of the rubber itself in some of the little crevices that are in there. I'm not quite sure yet. But like I said, I'll perform an updated video and include it on here, tack it on to the end, and you'll see how I was able to do it. So I've already started to put in the new gasket, and pretty much goes in like the old one did. Just kind of squeeze the rubber piece together so it fits up in the channel. And then there's some minor adjustments to get it to fit all the way around. The old one's a lot easier to work with because it's already formed. With this one, you basically have a channel, double channel, goes all the way around. And the inside piece, you have to squeeze it. I don't know how quite to describe that, but it goes on the outside and on the inside the same way, just that little channel. Also cold out here, so it's probably a little bit easier to do this in the summertime. And you have like a little dimple or a little cutout here and up in the corners as well. I have done some posting on some of the forums for 4Runners about the sealer, and nobody had any idea about what it's supposed to be. I contacted the dealership that I bought it from, and oddly enough, surprisingly enough, they replied to me on a Sunday, which today is Sunday, and he's just said to put it on dry, just the way it is. It didn't need any kind of a sealer at all. And I would think, I mean, with the channels and everything, when the rain comes down, if it goes in here, it'll just run down and go out the weave holes in the bottom of the door. It certainly is no worse than what the original was. It had no, well, it had some glue in there. And what I did was I took the old piece and just took my finger and went around the edge and got a little bit of it out. At the top of this, there was a little bit of rust along this top rail right here. And so I was able to squeeze some of the grease or whatever it was out of here. And I just smeared that on that top edge, on the inside mostly. Outside was still pretty clean. Down towards the edges here, it was just dirty on the old one, and the new side was the one that had, the inside was the one that had the clean channel, if you will, with a little bit of that grease or sealer or whatever it was, but it was still soft. I mean, this is 2022, and this was is a 2004, so that's quite a long time. It's just sitting in that channel, but it is like a soft sealant, but it rubs right off. It comes on, so that's pretty much it. Just want to make sure that you're up in all of the channels, and then, like I said, I've got this other piece. It's on order. It's supposed to be here this week, and I believe that one, I saw some descriptions that said it has a peel and stick. I don't think that applies here. I think this just pops out. But anyway, we'll see what we see when it gets here. We'll see how this goes up. Voila! So that's that piece done, and now we just have to wait for the other piece. Okay, so today is another day, and I'm going to replace this lower trim today. It's nice for a change. We've been in the 20s and 30s, but today it's, I think it's currently about 74, and it's supposed to hit 75. We got storms coming in tonight, but hopefully I'll be done by then. So we've replaced this piece previously, and it seems to be holding up. I have not used any stick-up. Did I mention it was windy today? I mean, it's howling. We're supposed to have 40 to 50 mile-an-hour winds, and a gust came into the garage door actually and just blew my camera over. So we're going to start again. So I'm going to be taking off this lower piece today, and I ordered a new one, and that came from it came from Florida also. But a different dealership. This one came from a Miami dealership. So it's supposed to just lift up out of here. Of course, it's not going to cooperate, but as I was reviewing my video, I saw that I had my back turned to the camera, and you guys couldn't see exactly what I was doing. So this piece here is what we're replacing. It goes all the way across. There is the little piece here that is holding the bracket for the windshield wiper. And when you take this old part out or put the new one in, you have to be mindful of this, that you don't hurt that. This is a piece of plastic, this is a piece of rubber that's pushing up against this piece. I decided, for whatever reason, to start on the left-hand side. And all I did was I pushed under this. I did not use any tools, but I firmly used both of my thumbs and pushed up on this with the window down, of course, so as to not put any pressure on this. But pushed it pretty hard, and it clicked. It more or less popped out of there. There's a little cutout in the metal frame below this. This piece may have some kind of a clip or something that goes in there, I'm not sure, but whatever, it just popped out. And when it did, I shifted, I pulled this to the left. I pulled it this way to get it out of this side, because it's underneath this little piece of I'm sorry, this is on top of this, and this just kind of slid that whole part out of there. It came out very easily once I broke the first part over here to get it opened up to pop that out of there. That whole piece came up. So anyway, I just wanted to make sure that you saw that. I'm sorry, we have to be mindful of this area behind the windshield wiper. Okay, so what I did that seems to work better is pulling it to the left and sliding it out and then lifting it up. So that piece, it comes off, and you can see the wiper on that is pretty well worn. So anyway, I'm going to get a rag and clean this area up. So we have just a little regular rag. It's just wet. There's nothing special on here. Okay, rubber side up. So we're putting it, it's got it like a felt on the bottom. There's no adhesive strips or anything else. Looks like there's a little indentation on this side. So I don't see one on here. Kind of follow the way that we took it off. I'm going to raise this up. Enough to get this underneath here. And that looks like that's it. So we will do a test now. If it goes up. Then it goes down. So it looks like everything's in place. I don't see anything else to do. So that's it. I don't have anything else to tell you. Hoping this is good enough to provide you all with some information about how to replace the top one and the bottom one on my 2004 Toyota 4Runner.